you've got another sick note from the same person. What do you do? Well, Legal, Clare Fowler from Yes Law is here to help us get the legal take on this. Clare.
Hi, Sonia, thanks. Well, the first thing that I would suggest is that you take a look at your absence management policy. All settings should have one of these, and it's very likely to give you some starting points for managing this kind of situation. So most absence management policies have trigger points in them, which say that after a certain number of absences within a certain period of time, let's say, 3 absences within 6 months or something like that, that will actually trigger some sort of investigation or action under the policy. So that's what I would do first. Make sure that you know where your policy is, what it says, and also that you follow it. Because if you leave it, then it makes it more complicated later on, because you'll be challenged and asked, well, why didn't you, if that's what the policy says, why didn't you ask to meet with me sooner? So it's really important to be on top of what your policy says, and it also will help you be consistent in managing absence across the board.
Yeah, it's a good one just to be aware of those key policies, particularly, as you say, sickness as soon as you come in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, obviously it's a concern if someone's off sick a lot, and you need to talk to them about that. You need to make sure that you check the fit notes. Are the absences all for the same thing? Do they need some kind of phased return? Are they trying to come back to work too soon if they've been off and then they come back and they go straight off again? You can use the return to work interviews that are probably also part of your sickness absence policy to cover some of that, and make sure that you're talking to the employee and trying to get a real understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I'm really aware that in schools I know where they do a return to work interview, particularly if it's the head or deputy head, they get far fewer problems further down the line. It's also a really good place to signal the sickness policy and make people aware of it so they can see, yes, obviously there's genuine sickness. We've got to support that. And like you, I believe that in the vast majority of instances, we are talking genuine sickness, but it helps people see actually at this point, certain triggers are going to happen and they're not a surprise. The more informed people are, generally the better these situations pan out.
I think that's right. And in schools where you've often got a very generous sick pay policy, it is really important to stay on top of this, so that people don't kind of feel that they can take a certain amount of time off each year and be paid for it. That's obviously not the case. And you are perfectly entitled to manage someone's sickness absence even while they're still being paid.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Claire. Sickness is always one of those tricky ones, isn't it? Because we really want to support the person who's off sick, but equally, it puts extra pressure on everybody else in school and has an impact on those pupils. So great advice there. If you want more advice and wisdom from Claire, then come along to Kindly and Effectively Tackling Underperformance in Schools, where Claire will be doing several sessions looking at how to avoid the pitfalls of capability, how to manage sickness, and answering as many questions as you've got. I think you've always managed to answer pretty much every question, even when we had, it feels like, a million come at us. We'll pop the link below, and don't forget to check out our other top tip videos and subscribe so you know when new ones are released.